Unit 15, Lesson 2. Arriving in the Orient. Elizabeth spent £30 on summer frocks and set sail immediately. The ship, heralded by rolling porpoises, ploughed across the Mediterranean and down the Canal into a sea of staring, enamel-like blue, then out into the green wastes of the Indian Ocean, where flocks of flying fish skimmed in terror from the approaching hull. At night, the waters were phosphorescent, and the wash of the bow was like a moving arrowhead of green fire. Elizabeth loved the life on board ship. She was going to love India, she knew. She had formed quite a picture of India from the other passengers' conversation. She had even learned some of the more necessary Hindustani phrases, such as Ôidher, Ôjaldi, Ôsahiblog, etc. In anticipation, she tasted the agreeable atmosphere of clubs, with punkas flapping and barefooted, white-turbaned boys reverently salaaming, and maidens where bronze Englishmen with little clipped moustaches galloped to and fro, whacking polo balls. It was almost as nice as being rich, the way people lived in India. They sailed into Colombo through green, glassy waters where turtles and black snakes floated basking. A fleet of sampans came reaching out to meet the ship, propelled by coal black men with lips stained redder than blood by Beetlejuice. They yelled and struggled around the gangway while the passengers descended. As Elizabeth and her friends came down, two sampanwallahs, their prows nosing against the gangway, besought them with yells. "Don't you go with him, missy, not with him. Bad wicked man he, not fit taking missy. Don't you listen to him lies, missy. Nasty low fellow. Nasty low tricks him playing, nasty native tricks. Ha ha, he's not native himself. Oh no, him European man. White skin all same, missy, ha ha. Stop your bat, you two, or I'll fetch one of you a kick," said the husband of Elizabeth's friend. He was a planter. They stepped into one of the sampans and were rowed towards the sun-bright quays. And the successful Champanwallah turned and discharged at his rival a mouthful of spittle which he must have been saving up for a very long time. This was the Orient. Scents of coconut oil and sandalwood, cinnamon and turmeric floated across the water onto Mount Lavinia, where they bathed in the lukewarm sea that foamed like Coca-Cola. She came back to the ship in the evening, and they reached Rangoon a week later. North of Mandalay, the train, fueled with wood, crawled at 12 miles an hour across a vast parched plain bounded at its remote edges by blue rings of hills. White egrets stood poised, motionless, like herons, and piles of drying chilies gleamed crimson in the sun. Sometimes a white pagoda rose from the plain like a breast of a supine giantess. The early tropic night settled down, and the train jolted on, stopping at little stations where barbaric yells sounded from the darkness. Half-naked men with their long hair knotted behind their heads moved to and fro in torchlight, hideous as demons in Elizabeth's eyes. The train plunged into the forest, and unseen branches brushed against the windows. It was about 9 o'clock when they reached Calcutta, where Elizabeth's uncle and aunt were waiting with Mr. McGregor's car and with some servants carrying torches. Her aunt came forward and took Elizabeth's shoulder in her delicate saurian hands. "I suppose you are our niece Elizabeth? We are so pleased to see you," she said, and kissed her. Mr. Lacoustine peered over his wife's shoulder in the torchlight. He gave a half-whistle, exclaimed, "Well, I'll be damned," and then seized Elizabeth and kissed her more warmly than he needed have done, she thought. She had never seen either of them before.